Hey guys, it's Nikki with Flippin' Art Studio. I just wanted to start today with a 12 by 16 just to make a cute little painting. I've been out of the studio for a while. We moved and then the holidays and all that good stuff. So jumping back in, and I wanted to film a video to show you guys some of my process and give you a couple quick tips. So today I am doing dark green, dark blue, light blue, and then white and black. So I have the Phalo blue by Artist Loft, light blue by Artist Loft, the Phalo green by Liquitex, light olive green by Liquitex, and then my black and white, I use the Artist Loft Flow Acrylic. And I mixed these up at a 1-to-1 ratio, and I used the pouring medium that I call like my 4x3. So it's 12 ounces of glue, 8 ounces of global pouring medium, and I use the Amazon Basics all-purpose school glue. I've not had an issue, even though it's washable glue, mixing with water, it works just fine. And then I use the this golden color pouring medium gloss. This really helps my paintings smooth out nice, dry nicely, and dry fairly quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my spot on silicone and put 2 drops in each except the black and the white. And each one of these cups has 4 ounces of paint, well, 4 ounces of mix. So 2 ounces of the pouring medium, 2 ounces of paint, and then I add a little bit of water just to get the right consistency. I'm gonna mix the silicone in really well. Sometimes I do all different colors. Sometimes I do kind of like a color palette like this, where it is a dark and a light shade of the same color. I kind of like those paintings. They tend to turn out really nice. I haven't used this light olive color yet, so I'm interested to see how it reacts. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and start layering. I have 3 big cups that I'm gonna use to flip this. So altogether I have 24 ounces of paint, roughly, for this 12 by 16 canvas. If you're wondering how much paint you need, I use Julie Cuts, her ratios and her calculations. I love Julie. My kids love Julie because she has the coolest animals that come to her yard. She has kookaburras and all sorts of fun creatures that she feeds and shows on some of her paintings, and I love seeing it. She's down in Australia. My heart goes out to everyone in Australia. We have my husband's family in Australia, and those fires are just absolutely heartbreaking. So if you get a chance and you can donate a couple dollars, they really need it down there. So just layering my paint, pouring it in about half of what I have in each paint cup in, so I get 2 layers in here. And I always alternate, or try to alternate, dark and light. Oh, I'm not gonna have enough paint to do that one, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip the middle one so that there's some consistency in the 2 ends.
Mom, I ate.
Hey buddy, I'm filming.
Am I allowed to have my final quarter of one of my giant Reese's?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
You sound really tired.
Sorry, my kiddo walked in
Oh.
while I'm filming
You're on YouTube, that's what it is.
and missed it. So, yes, he just had lunch and is asking if he can have a little sweet treat. So, all those moms out there will totally understand how much your kiddos ask for snacks throughout the day. Mine are still home from school, which is kind of crazy. I mean, they've had 3 weeks off for Christmas. You know, I kind of wish, I don't mind the 3 weeks off, but I do wish that they had the week before Christmas off when you're actually, you know, out and about and doing things and trying to travel and get ready for Christmas and the holidays. But that's not how it works, so. They go back on Monday, which will kind of be nice. Only because Mom can't get as much done. Almost done here. I always scrape out all of my paint. You pay for your paint. It's important. It's expensive. So make sure you get all of it out that you can. Just making sure that we're still filming. Okay. And black on top here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the flip and drag style. See how rusty I am after taking almost a month off of painting. Stack my cups over here and get to flipping. So put this up here where you guys can still see it, but I'm not quite on the edge of my table. This one in the middle, this one here. I used big cups. And I probably could have gotten away with using smaller cups, but I'm gonna let those kind of do their thing for a second and then flip them over. Ready? Let's see what these colors do. Ooh. Like that. Don't go off. Stay where you are. Oh, it's gonna turn out almost like peacocky. Mermaid colors, I guess. All right, since all of this is kind of going off the edge here, I'm gonna go ahead and start moving this paint around. Normally I like to let it sit for a little bit, but because it is rolling off as it is on its own, doesn't want to play nice today. Go ahead and go all the way to this corner, come back. So you're always controlling where the weight of the paint is. It's how you get it to kind of go where you want it to go. So bring the paint up to this top left corner for me. Man, losing a lot off the sides here, but that's okay because I kind of like what it's doing as far as the lines. So now that I have those top corners covered, I'm gonna give it a torch. So just a butane torch, like you would use in the kitchen to make creme brulee or whatever you're torching up, some marshmallows. Pop some of these bubbles. So what you're doing is warming that silicone, which floats to the bottom. And that silicone, when it's warm, will float up through your paint layers. And that's what gives you the cells. You also can get density cells from your paints being different densities. So if you look on if you're using nicer paints, I don't know if Artist Loft started listing it or not. Oh, they do list it. This is a semi-opaque. So you can see where it lists whether it's semi-opaque, transparent, opaque. And if you learn about it and study it and you can figure out the different densities, you can get cells on their own without using silicone, but it's way easier just to go ahead and use the silicone. And then we're gonna stretch these cells out. My paint is pretty thick, as you can see, because these guys aren't growing like they would if my paint was a little bit thinner. So my mix is a little bit thick still. But we are going to stretch these guys out by moving the paint around. Try to get them. You know what? I'm going to torch just a scotch more. Try not to over torch because I like to leave some background. I think it makes it a more interesting painting. But this one I'm having trouble getting these cells kind of on the bigger side. So you just want to move back and forth, stretching those cells out. Trying to keep their shape kind of circular. Go off, go off. All the way off. There we go. Bring the weight of the paint back up a little bit. Cover this side. All the way off. Back over to the middle. And then you can kind of start to pick and choose what you want to do. So I'm just going to look at it for a little bit, see what I'm doing here with some composition and things. I am not a fan of this olive green. I just don't like how it's reacting. I don't really like the color it's pulling. I'm going to do a little bit more torching, see if I can get some baby cells to come up. Maybe in here. There we go. Sometimes now that you get like a little bit of the weight of all of the paint off, you'll get more cells that pop up. I'm not loving this, so I'm going to work on pouring that off a little bit, and that might open up some of these cells in here too. Let's see if I can still get my paint to move. Straighten out my lines a little bit. And there we go. All right, well, first painting back. Not my favorite, not terrible. So I don't think I will be using that light olive green again, or at least definitely not with black. I think pairing it with the black kind of made it look even muddier than olive green normally would. And I just don't like that color that's going on right now. So I'll go ahead and bring you guys down. Let you see. Some of this is really pretty. The blues and the phthalo blue mixing with the white and the black in here is really pretty. So let me bring you down, hopefully not drop you in the painting. That would be bad. Sorry, my big old hand in the way. But here we go. So some of these turned out really nice. I like these cells here. I like some of the ones, my favorite are the ones that have either white around the outside, or these rings are really pretty. So I like the gradient in here. So not too shabby for the first one back. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some more paints and do another painting, a little 12 by 12 with some brighter colors, and I'm gonna make them a little thinner, and we'll see what happens as far as the cells go. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I will post another video shortly. Thanks.